What's up, guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 1990 GMC Vandura 2500 Regency conversion. Up front is a 5.7-liter V8, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Vandura conversion because it is such a time capsule of the late 80s and early 1990s. It is such a work of art, rolling on its own wheels. It's only on its second owner, and it only has about 111,000 miles. And so today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty freaking sweet conversion van. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 5.7-liter V8 under the hood. Well, there were two engines offered here in the Vandura. And actually, let's back it up even more. This started life as just a regular van. However, the company Regency would then upfit it to the customer's liking. So if you wanted the wood paneling, they gave you wood paneling, and they gave you a lot of wood paneling. And so GMC didn't offer this right from their showroom, but this was built out brand new to be the way that it is, which is very, very cool. So let's get back to that 5.7-liter V8. That was an option in 1990. The standard engine was the 4.3-liter V6. However, to upgrade to the 5.7 was a measly $800. That's it. That's all it took to upgrade to the V8, which I definitely would have done back in the day as well. Now, with this added weight, you are going to want that bigger V8. However, it wasn't 100% necessary. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Again, pretty standard there. And last but not least, the Vandura is, of course, rear-wheel drive. How does it feel to drive the Vandura Regency conversion? Well, it's big, and you have quite a few blind spots. That and the driving position itself is incredibly laid back, like almost too laid back. Like, you ever met someone who's in a crisis and they seem way too calm? That's how it feels to drive this. The seat is pushed back, the pedals are pushed forward, the steering is really, really relaxed. It's not going anywhere fast, but I like that feeling. I enjoy that feeling in a vehicle like this. In my Canyon Carving sports car, I don't think I would want this, but for a luxury cruiser, this is all that I want, and I love to feel that. Visibility out the front is fine, but like I said, out the back ain't great, and the suspension is okay. However, it is 35 years old, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior, because this is where you'll really notice the customizations done by Regency. Well, in front of me, I have the standard GMC gauges. Off to the left is my speedometer, and the center is fuel, and off to the right, we have coolant temperature, oil pressure, and battery voltage. But all of it is surrounded by wood. We also have some climate controls off to the right of that, rear air as well, and our interior lights to the bottom right. The steering wheel is also wood. It is a Dino steering wheel. Absolutely love this. And off to the left, we have a climate control vent and our headlight switch. Moving out of the door, we have our vent window, lock and unlock, and power windows, as well as more wood accenting and this lovely, lovely fabric accenting as well. And moving into the center, we have two climate control vents, we have an aftermarket radio, and Mr. T watching over us. Down below, we have more wood center consoles. We have some cassette holders, a cigarette lighter, an added reading light, very, very cool. Of course, an ashtray, which is surrounded by wood. I don't know if I would have picked that. But an ashtray in the center with two cup holders. So we'll do a big friggin' bottle test, and the Regency addition to the GMC Vandura passes the big friggin' bottle test. We do have a Cobra CB radio off to the left and some more wood storage options down below. The seats are incredibly comfortable. Some of the most comfortable I have ever sat in, quite frankly, ever. GM knew what they were doing with seats at the time, but not only that, these are on a whole nother level comparatively to like the Chevy Celebrities and other vehicles like that are still comfortable. Pontiac 6000, comfortable. Fleetwood Brougham, comfortable, but this is just a whole another floor above that. This is so comfy, cozy. I want these in my house. I want my bed made out of this. It is just simply the best. However, speaking of seats, we have more rows of seating and a whole back area. So let's talk about that because I think that's what you really want to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go handheld for this back seat review because there is a lot to go over and I would be cutting away 1.5 million times. Open up the door like this. First of all, love this door card. We do get a little cup holder and a little ashtray, of course. Come over here, push this latch out, and you do get a little fold-down table, which is very, very cool and very useful. I love this like old style, like click, listen. Love that. Once we are back here, plenty of things to look at. Love this Regency conversions here in the center. But let's hop in here. Close the doors up. Try to keep a little bit of the heat in. It's a little chilly here today. Grab this. Grab this, and there we go. We are in the back of the Regency conversion. Plenty of things to talk about. First of all, we do have wood cabinets that line the entire upper part of the high top of the van. Love that. Open it up like that. We do have a TV. We have this nice Regency badge here as well. We have some reading lights down here. We have our stereo, some different buttons and things like that, a remote, a wooden Kleenex holder. Absolutely love that. Some light reading over there if you would like to do that. The seats themselves, much like the front seats, are incredibly comfortable. They actually look to be the same design as the front seats. I don't know if they are, but they look to be that way. I love the curtains. It has curtains. I mean, you don't see curtains in cars anymore. Let's hop over to the other seat. We have even more cabinetry up at the top. I mean, this is just absolutely the bee's knees. This sort of crushed fabric material, the wood, the brown and blue, it's just so wonderful. It's so cozy too. Now, obviously, legroom is at an absolute wholesale amount. I mean, this is just fantastic. Really stretch out here, hit the open road, and enjoy it. What an awesome, awesome experience. Moving back here, we could get into the third row. We do have some cushions. This is actually a cooler, so you could stick your drinks in there and have some nice cooler stuff, some TV inputs as well. And just now sitting from back here, get to enjoy a little bit of TV, have these lights over here, and just all of this really, really cool stuff. We will hop back there in a second because there's even more coolness, but just take it in here. I mean, this is just, I know I'm oogling. It's so cool. I did forget to mention that I actually do have a panel switch up here for some of the power things. So very, very cool little light as well. And because of the high top, I can, slouched, but I can almost stand up back here and I can walk to the back row. And it's not too terrible. So that's very nice. Let's hop out. I'm going to toss my coat on, but let's hop out and talk about what's in the cargo area because there's some more coolness back there. Right around the back of the GMC Vandura Regency conversion. Open it up like this, and then we have a tiny little latch down there to open it up the rest of the way. So a couple of things to note right off the bat. First of all, we do have this little Velcro wine holder. So this would hold wine bottles and you could prepare, maybe cut some cheese, some charcuterie action going on down here with your wine selection. Absolutely love that. More curtains over here, more curtains over here. And then this is actually a fold out table. So you would take the top off. This is the leg for the table and you could place it in between the second row to add a little table space to play cards, eat at, whatever it might be. This is a dustbuster, better known as the Pontiac Transport. Very, very cool. And then this is all your roadside stuff, but it came in this like crushed velvet bagging. Really, really cool. The owner, of course, tossed some more roadside stuff in there. We do have a little light that you could pull out and use. Very, very cool here. And again, not only is the carpet super cool, but look, there's like carpet on the walls. I love that. This is some controls. So this is technically You could use it as a third rear-facing row if you really want to. However, you can move it forward and back at the flip of this switch. So you can see it moving, 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 moving. Very, very cool. Then you can actually fold this down. It takes a little bit, but it will then form, got to move this back a little bit, a bed. That's why it has the two pillows. Now the third row has been folded flat and forms a bed. Is this registering? This is so cool. This is so freaking cool. I absolutely love this. I mean, the push of the button, I don't know. The idea of laying back here on a road trip with the family and the dog is just, I mean, such a wonderful, wonderful fantasy. And I'm sure many people did experience it with conversion vans. I would love to hear your stories down below. But just, I mean, this would be the bee's knees to travel across the country laying down, playing your Game Boy in 1994. Anyway, so we can power this back up. Oh, wait, no. That's forward and back. This is up. There you go. It's tired. It's older than me, so I don't fret it too much. There you go. Put this back up, and you have your cargo space back. Very, very cool around the back of the conversion van from 1990. What a cool piece of history. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is the factory look out of the Regency conversion. So these wheels came from Regency. I love these wheels. The wheels are just the chef's kiss on top of all of this. I love the gigantic windows. However, I share the sentiment with the owner in the fact that he hopes and prays to God he doesn't ever break or shatter a window, because it will be hell and back to try to find a replacement. However, I just think this thing looks so badass and just so period correct too. I mean, there was just this sort of style that 80s and 90s cars had that can't really be replicated. I like the fact that it is sort of square body and unapologetic, and the Vandura itself comes from a utility vehicle, a van. This was a work van or plumber van or things like that. And now Regency, and with some paint and wheels, they've made it something so incredibly special. They made it fun and poppy and flary out of something that was supposed to be a hammer or screwdriver, you know? That's what I love about this. And the sort of style that 80s and 90s had, I still think is unmatched here today. We have cool cars today. We have stylish cars here today. But just the guttural steez that this oozes, I don't think has ever been matched. With all of that being said, I know I'm glazing this thing pretty hard, but I do love it. With all that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this? This has just been such a cool and wonderful experience, finding one of these in such good condition, because these were driven hard and put away wet. People lived out of these for a long time. People still live out of these. People pack hundreds of thousands of miles onto these. They take it to the Grand Canyon. They take it to Mount Rushmore. They take it to the Florida Keys. They do all of these road trips. And so to find one in this condition is just so incredibly amazing. And I'm so thankful that the owner reached out. But there's just some charm about this vehicle that, again, like the looks, isn't matched here today. It feels like the interior experience is the most important part of the car, not fuel efficiency, not economical numbers, not even affordability. This thing wanted you and your family to be comfortable, and gosh darn it, it tried its best to make that happen. And I think it worked really well. All of the really intricate features in here. And I think the biggest thing, the reason I like the wood, not just because it's homey and it feels nice, looks nice, blah, blah. I think the big reason I like all the wood accents is because it's not plastic. This doesn't feel like a Happy Meal toy. This doesn't feel like it was 3D printed by a person who's already overworked. This feels like it has craftsmanship. This feels like someone took ownership. This feels, honestly, like someone cared. And that's the biggest thing. That's the best feeling in the world, is just knowing that someone cared, that someone gave a hoot. There is no feeling like it. And driving this, someone cared. And now the current owner still cares. He cares a lot about this. He keeps it pristine. He keeps it rust-free here in Chicago. He doesn't drive it in the winter to protect it, to preserve it. The owner, Bud, cares. He cares about this car. And I feel that. I feel cared for. And that's better than any feeling in the world. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Bud for letting me borrow his 1990 GMC Vandura 2500 Regency. I mean, this is just such an amazing, amazing vehicle. Bud is absolutely lovely to work with. Such a down-to-earth guy. Really, really friendly. And in this industry, that isn't always a given. So I appreciate my new friend, Bud. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.